Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Mansfield here. Today I'm going to be teaching you about your grammar lesson. So yesterday you learned about regular, like just past tense verbs, where you add an ed to the end. Today we're going to be talking about past tense irregular verbs. So these ones are a little bit different. So some verbs you can't just add ed to the end of them to make them past tense. So you might have heard the word play. You would just add ed to the end and it would turn into played. But these are different. These are words that you can't just add ed to. These are called irregular verbs. So if I look at this sentence, let me try and move my camera out of the way. So if I look at this sentence and it says the man swimmed or swam in the pool, I have to figure out which word doesn't tickle my ear. So that's the best way to determine which one I need to pick and which one I need to write. So what that means is I'm going to read the sentence with both of the words by themselves in the sentence. And whichever one doesn't sound quite right to me, that's probably the one that's not right because it tickles my ear. And then the one that does sound right, something that I've heard before, that's probably the right choice. So I'm going to read the sentence both ways. The man swimmed in the pool. So it follows that ed pattern, but that sounds funny and it really tickles my ear. It doesn't sound quite right. So I'm going to read it with the other one. The man swam in the pool. That sounds like something I've heard before. That sounds like something that would make sense. So I'm going to assume it's swam. And I was right. So the second sentence, we can see that this word has that ed on the end, just like we learned about yesterday. But I'm going to, again, read both words separately in the sentence. So, the boy dived off the diving board. That sounds funny. That tickles my ear. The boy dove off the diving board. That one sounds right and sounds like something that I've heard before. So I'm going to assume it's dove. And I was right. So for these ones that I'm going to talk to you about, these are ones where I can actually click on the word. But what you can do in your own writing is you can actually, as you're writing, if you're not sure what type of verb it should be, if it's a regular verb or an irregular verb, maybe say the sentence in your head using both versions, the one that follows the ed pattern, the one without an ed pattern, and see which one makes sense and doesn't tickle your ear. So the man caught a big fish. That one sounds right. Sounds like something I've heard before, but I'm going to read it with the other one just to be on the safe side. The man catched a big fish. That one tickles my ear and does not sound right. So I'm going to go with caught. And I got it right. So the second one, last night I eat an ice cream cone. That one sounds funny. Or last night I ate an ice cream cone. Ate is a word that I've heard for past tense of eating. So I know that ate is right. However, I want to show you the funny part of what happens when I click on the wrong one. So I'm going to click on eat anyway. And it tells me that's crazy because that should tickle my ear. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to actually click on the right one, 8. Awesome job. All right, so what you're going to do, boys and girls, in your work, you've got this slide that tells you what regular and irregular verbs are. It kind of gives you a little brief overview. So regular past tense is when we add the ed to the verb. That's what you learned about yesterday on Thursday. It happened already. It happened in the past. We always add ed to regular past tense verbs, such as asked, walked, and played. Irregular past tense, though, is when we don't add that ed to a verb. These are something that obviously already happened, but it does not follow the ed rule. So I wouldn't say eated, I would say ate. I wouldn't say goaded, I would say went. And I wouldn't say telled, I would say told. So Mrs. Mansfield actually included 4 different pages that show you different irregular verbs. If you were a student in Mrs. Mansfield's class, and possibly some of the other classes, I'm not quite sure, but I know that Mrs. Mansfield has these up on her wall so that my students can see that not all verbs are going to have that ed, and this is a list of them, and you'll notice none of them have ed added to the end of them. So what you're going to do is your activity is you're going to take these words that are down at the bottom of this page, and you're going to figure out if they're an irregular verb or a regular verb. So an irregular verb, if you look at the word and you know it's irregular, it doesn't follow that ed pattern, you're going to type it up here. Now, if it's a regular verb and you do follow that ed added to the end, like say this word right here was a regular verb, I would type it right here. Okay, so good luck and keep working hard, second graders. You're doing an amazing job.